Hey guys, it's Irish again. In this video, I thought I would show you guys how to configure Gnome to make it look pretty. Since the big news that Ubuntu was going away from Unity and Mir and everything and going to Gnome, I thought it would be a pretty good idea for me to show you how to do a basic Gnome from the beginning and make it look pretty, or into my eyes look pretty. So the first thing, this is a brand new Arch on my spare laptop, so this is what you get right out of the gate. Now you may not get this from, say, Fedora or even uh, Ubuntu Gnome edition, but I'll still show you the steps here. So the first thing we're going to do is change this ugly wallpaper. So what you're going to do, there's multiple ways, but I'm going to do the quickest ways to do this. You want to right click and then say change wallpaper. And then you're just going to click on to background. And then we'll just choose one of the defaults here. So we'll just do the waterfall and then select. And then for lock screen, you can do the same thing. For lock screen, I like to do a solid color just to spice things up here. The next thing I like to do is get my extensions. Now, the big key to theme Gnome is a tool called Gnome Tweak Tool. So if we go to it, you're going to see this. So if your distribution does not have this, it's quite simple. You just pull up a terminal and do sudo apt-get install gnome tweak tool, or if for whatever reason you're on Arch and it doesn't come up by default, you would want to get that with pacman-s gnome tweak tool. So a lot of the theming is going to revolve around this application here. So the first thing I like to do, or the next thing I like to do also, is I like to have a minimize and a maximize button in my title bars here. So what we're going to do is go to Windows here, and then I will say on for the maximize, and then off for the minimize. So now if I do that, it will minimize it, and then if I go back, to it, it will go here. The next thing a lot of people do with Gnome is get extensions. Now there's a bucket load of extensions, but I'll show you the more popular ones and the ones that I like to do myself. So the one is Places Status Indicator. So now if you go here, you can go to Home, Documents, Downloads, instead of having to go to Activities and then go to here and then go to it. So it's just a little bit quicker. And then the other thing is the, let's see here if I have it. Applications menu, here it is. So again, this is very similar to, it groups things together fairly, like in utilities, universal access, system tools. So you can go to terminal here very quickly. But those are the more popular ones. And if you don't see one that comes automatically with it, you want to go and get more extensions. So this will pop up the web browser that you're using. So Gnome does come with a default web browser if you're not using, say, like Fedora, but we're going to change that to Firefox since I do have that installed. So what I like to do is go to Settings, then go to Details, and then go to Default applications, and then as you can see, you can change any one of these. So I'm going to say web and then to Firefox. Now if I had VLC, I can do VLC here. Same thing with music. And then anything like mail, if I had Thunderbird, I could change that to that, or Geary, or any other ones that are in a GUI form. So we're going to go back to get more extensions here. So this will pop up a web page called extensions.gnome.org. And then by default, it's not going to see that you actually have a GNOME installed, so you may have to enable the plugin for the Firefox. So let's see if we can do this one. We'll say open weather. Yeah, so as you can see, it says to control GNOME, click here to install the browser extension. So it usually, yeah, here we go. So this should pop up right here. So Firefox is preventing this site. Yeah, we'll say allow. And then this should download the extensions.gnome.org, and we'll say install. So now if we refresh this whole thing, it should allow us to get this here. One second. Okay, so I was unable to get the plugin to work in Firefox, but if you do and go to one of these, you'll see right on here if you want to install it. So I'm just going to do it from the default web browser that GNOME comes with. So there's only a few extensions that I personally use. One of them is top icons, and this will be the plus. So if we had Pigeon or Dropbox or any one of those, so now you can see that I have my simple screen recorder up here. You get to see that up here because by default it doesn't come with that. The next one I absolutely need if I ever use GNOME in any of the distros is Caffeine. Now Caffeine, as you can see, it disables the screensaver and auto suspend. So it's a little coffee cup. So now if I leave the screen alone for a set amount of time, I think it's 5 minutes, it will lock my computer and turn off the screen. But if I press this, and you can see the steam rising up from the cup, then that means no matter how long I'm away from this computer, the screen will always be on. And I feel like that's a must, especially if you have like a desktop or you went to go to the bathroom or get a bite to eat or something like that and wanted to get back to whatever you were doing on it. And the next thing I like, let's see if I can find it, since I believe this did come out not too long ago. It's I forget what it's called. It's been a while since I've used GNOME here. One second, let me see if I can find it. As you can see, yeah, there's tons of them. There's over 82 pages of this. Let me pause this one more time and let me find the one that I have used in the past, so forgive me 1 second. Okay, so it is called Dash to Dock, and if you can see from the screenshot here, it brings your everything out to the front, so you don't have to go up to here and do it. So I'll show you what this looks like. So if we turn this on, click install. So it should enable it. So as you can see here, it's one of those ones that is smart. So if you have application full screen or to the right, it will go, and then you could back it up. So normally I don't have the application thing up here or places. I just have this, but I'm just showing you guys everything that this can do. So the next thing I do is go to the appearance. Now normally I go with the global dark theme, and then the GTK icon and cursor. I usually do either the new mix or the arc theme. So I'm going to choose the arc. So what we're going to do is just get it from the main repos for Arch, but again, I don't know. I believe they are in the same repos across the board. Maybe not in Fedora, but I'll leave websites down to where to get the arc theme. So if we just do a sudo pacman-s arc gtk, I believe it's called. Okay, so not arch, arc. Let's Alright, let's just search for it. Pacman-s. There it is. So we'll just do the icon theme. S arc icon theme. Man, keep saying arch. Okay. Well, so we'll let this download. Shouldn't take too long. There is one, while this downloads, there is one extension that I have not tried, but I'm curious about. Someone came up with an Arch Linux updater indicator, so I'm going to test this out just for fun. I, again, don't use Gnome on a daily basis, but I can still tell you guys how to make this look interesting. So as you can see, it's up here, and I'm going to guess check now. So this should tell me if I have any updates for Arch, which, it being Arch, there should be at least 1 or 2 packages per day. So yeah, as you can see, there's 16 updates. I won't do that just now. So we'll try. Okay, so it's called the Arc GTK Theme. I forgot the theme. And then we'll do sudo. So I will find a link if your distribution doesn't have this. Okay, so I'll just deal with that later. So once you download either the new mix or Paper or any of the GTK themes, you can come here and we'll just do the Awadia Dark. So it will darken the theme up, and then we'll icons. We'll do. Let's close this and reopen it down. Tweak. So once you install it, if you have this open, you may have to close it out and open it up again. So now you can see it's the arc theme, and this should have changed. And then I don't really do much with the cursor theme. I just leave it at the same time. So next thing is, I don't usually do this, but you can theme your shell. So now if we go to a website called gnome-look.org. Now this is a list of a bunch of themes that you can do for your shell or GTK themes or stuff like that. So I believe there is an extension that you need to enable to make this work, and it's the user themes. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I've tried to install one of these and it just didn't work out for whatever reason. So I think you need to have that installed. So now we'll just we'll just do the first one here. So if you just click on it, and usually it will give you a description and then the installation. So we'll say file and then install. Okay, so we'll try another one here. Again, I've had some hit and misses on here. This is why I don't usually theme the shell, but I will try to get one of these things to work here. So now we'll just try this first one here. Okay, so you would extract one of these files here, and then you would put it in your .local file, and then shell themes and that user extension that we enabled earlier will actually take that directory and will make sure that that's the theme that you want. So the next thing I like to do is just make sure that really make everything look good. So like the terminal theme right here, I don't really like the default, so I just go to colors and then I just unclick the use colors from system theme, and then I like the old school terminal because I grew up with that kind of stuff. So usually I just get a couple of themes and some icon packs and then just make sure that everything looks nice, and I usually change up my wallpaper. There's a bunch more that you can do with this, but in the next video I can show you guys how to attach a conky, which is like a system indicator, if you would want. My plan is to show the basics on how to theme each of the desktop environments. So let me know which one you want to see first, either KDE, Mate, or XFCE, or I can even do LXDE, but I don't know how many people actually do use that. So if you guys have any of your own themes that you like to use or your own icons that you think look awesome, please put them down in the description below, and I will catch you guys in the next video.